Hi, this is a Punk with Toys, and today we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth. And if you follow my videos by any chance, you saw the Cyclops video that I just did. And like I said, I was mailing it in like they mailed in that figure. I'm going to say right now, this figure, in my opinion, makes up for the mail-in. For $23, this is actually a pretty good figure. So let's quickly take a look at the box. There you have your X-Men. That's the Age of Apocalypse X-Men logo, Sabretooth. And on the back, you have him pretty ravaged, his claws. You see that it's part of the Colossus Build-A-Figure. And there he is on the side, and unfortunately they only give you one different look. So that's the box. Again, looks like the rest of the Marvel Legends boxes. These are what they're doing now, and it fits in with the rest of your Age of Apocalypse. And here's our Sabretooth, and right now I have his angry face on him. And I have one fist in one hand that he uses to grab. He also does come with Colossus's head and bandana, so he is obviously needed in the Age of Apocalypse. Here's his smoldering face, smirking face, I'm not sure, but it is pretty cool. And they both have ponytails, which not only move, but they actually can come off. So if you didn't want it, you can take it off. But it is nice because it moves, it allows us to move his head a little bit more than some of the other figures. So this guy is a monster of a figure. Again, he comes with two sets of hands. He's got the two fists. Show you the one that's on there. Then here's his grabbing hand. Unfortunately, there's no like long claws, which really cool. I'll tell you what, we're gonna take a better look at this figure, and I'm gonna compare him, especially his size, and you guys can decide if whether or not you think this figure is worth it. Unlike the mail-in Colossus. All right, so here we have a better look at him, and I have these four figures here as point of reference of just how big he is. And as you can see, he stands just as tall as Apocalypse, which is kind of shocking to me. But as you know, Apocalypse can move up and down. But this was a deluxe figure, and he stands just as tall as him. Get him out of the way. You can clearly see he towers over Wolverine, and I don't even think that where I'm at, it's doing it justice, because there's exactly how he is compared to Wolverine, which, I'm going to say this right now, Marvel, Feige, if somehow you're watching this, when you make an X-Men movie, understand that Wolverine is always looking up at Sabretooth when he fights him. Okay? Hugh Jackman was great, but he's way too tall. He's a runt. And that's why he's always fighting an uphill battle. Alright, let me get him out of the way. And then you have next to Cyclops, and you can just see Cyclops is your standard figure, and you can see exactly how tall he is compared to mail-it-in Cyclops. Alright, so now let's take a look at our figure here, and here's his Wrathchild that he goes with, and what's actually kind of cool is he does come with his chain, so he can clip on and hold on to him. So that's pretty cool if you have this, or you can get it anywhere, to be honest. All right, so let's take a look. Two different heads. We have our smirk or smoldering. Again, his ponytail moves around, which is nice. It comes off, so if you don't want to have it on there, really went like right. Now they give you two of them, and from what I can tell, they are both the same. So, but if you lose it, if it breaks, you just pop it off. But it does allow us to move the head better than some of the other figures. I guess he only has so much maneuverability. Again, he comes with 2 sets of hands, 2 fists. There's the other fists. The open hand. So right now I have one of the open hands on and a fist. Now, the one thing I can say is because of how big and massive this guy is, he does not come with double pins. I think that would just make it too hard to bend. So you are only going to get an almost 90-degree angle. And I know that's something I complained about with Cyclops, but Cyclops is a smaller figure, and I think that you could you could get away with it. I think you could figure out a way with Cyclops. I'm sure you could do it with him, but it may be too much. And then same with this one here. This arm, it's only going to bend up so far. So, but he's a big figure. You're going to have him punching things or holding around a child. Does have double pin legs. Again, this guy is just massive. The boots get in the way. And he doesn't have a boot cut, which I was actually kind of shocked at. He doesn't have any boot cut. So posing him can kind of be a problem if you have him in an action pose or anything. So you probably need some sort of stand. But again, he's actually a nice heavy figure, as you might imagine, due to how big he is. But I do like the detail here. Here's what something, you know, a lot of the X-Men have in this wave. Magneto wears it. Rogue has it. Wrathchild has it. I don't fully remember exactly what it was. They all seem to have some sort of armor. Most of them seem to have an armor, usually on one side. You know, Cyclops has the one side that's all armored up. So you actually notice that in a lot of this wave and in the comic and different things like that. So they have his ab crunch, so he doesn't get, you know, you want to make Wolverine punching him, stabbing him, Apocalypse punching him. So that is, hey, look at his face. I mean, I gotta say, that is a nice looking angry face to be fighting Wolverine. There is no doubt about that. I like that a lot. Again, I like the smirk too. I mean, I think this brings out 2 different, you know, this is the face of him pissing off Wolverine, and here you have the face after he's pissed off Wolverine and Wolverine's made some sort of comment to him that's made him mad. Definitely a guy that verbally can dish it out, but can't take it physically. Well, I think he can dish it out pretty well. So anyway, that is your Sabretooth. Let's wrap this video up. Alright, so there you have it. That is your Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth. I really like this figure. He's big, he's bad. I do like how big they made him. And again, when I matched him up to Wolverine, that's actually the first time I matched him up to Wolverine and put him in the fight scene that I did in the beginning of the video. And I just, you see how big he is. And I've always liked it. I always liked that Wolverine is, believe it or not, exactly my size. I'm like 5'3", 5'4", so he's small. He's always looking up, and someone my size understands what it's like to constantly be looking up at people, especially guys that are huge, and that's what Sabretooth is. I think they did a wonderful job with this. I mean, I love the facial expressions on both. So I can say on some of these figures, like on the Magnetos, I think both the faces look wonderful. The head sculpts are great. You know, they give you 2 different hands. You know, so you have 2 fists if you want to be punching things. you know, too grabbing. It would have been awesome to have maybe a little bit bigger claws. I'm not really going to complain because you're getting a lot more from this figure, just plastic in general, along with the head of Colossus compared to, again, the Mailodin Cyclops, that you get this and you get a leg. So again, kind of disappointing with that, but they made up for it with this one. Again, I mean, there's been a few of the figures in the line, like Legion. There's really nothing but the fact that you can't give some hands, just something. Find something in the comics to give us, because your prices are going up, and yet sometimes you're giving us less. But this figure, he's giving us a lot. He used a lot of plastic. He can fight Colossus. He can be fighting Apocalypse, Sugar Man. He's nice. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to get out of here because I don't know if I'm going to get around to the next two videos, but I really do want to get to this Colossus because he's pretty sweet. Anyway, Punk with Toys on Instagram, and get out and do your toy hunting.